Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday now. We're starting to kind of get towards the end of the work week, and we do have some severe weather to talk about today. But before we get into any of that, a couple of housekeeping things here. One, I do apologize for not having a webcam. Actually, kind of my room is torn apart right now. I'm trying to rearrange some things and all since I just got back home. So it's really just a mess behind me, and this is the only place I could record right now. So I didn't really want you to have to look at that. So anyway, I'll have the webcam back up tomorrow, and my room will be much cleaner and nicer. And there should even be a nice little background because, again, I'm kind of rearranging right now to kind of make the videos a little bit better and just, some other things. But also with that, obviously I am back home now, so that may affect some of the upload scheduling a little bit just because I might have to work around some other things. And also I just started I don't want to say new job, but I transferred locations back into the upstate, so I don't really know what hours I'm going to be working. So that could also affect kind of the timing of when these videos come out, but I still do plan on doing 6 days a week unless something changes. But if that does, I will definitely let you know. I guess with all that said, though, I think we are good to go, and we can go ahead and start talking about the weather. So, looking at radar, we do have a couple of pretty big areas of kind of some severe weather ongoing right now. One back out here into the plains, into sections of western Kansas, and really even a bigger section of the plains that we'll take a look at here in a minute, but also down here into sections of Mississippi, Louisiana, and even Alabama. I think this afternoon could get some strong storms, and those will be capable of producing a tornado or two, as well as, of course, some damaging winds and large hail. Now, for you folks back out here east of the Appalachian chain, we've had a really nice past 2 days now as that high pressure is still kind of taking over the pattern over here and really helping to keep us relatively dry east of the mountains. So places like Greenville, Charlotte, Raleigh, Richmond, D.C., and all the way up through the Northeast, we've had a really nice stretch of weather here over the past 48 hours or so. But for some of you folks in that area, don't let your guard down because I do think we get back into kind of that stormy summertime pattern as we get over the next couple of days. So talking about today's severe weather threat, again, we have a big enhanced risk out here, and this is really just a classic big-time May severe weather setup for the Great Plains, and really the past week has been very kind of stereotypical May weather out here with just days of severe weather. So for all the storm chasers out there, I'm sure they're out there enjoying it, but I'm enjoying talking about it, I guess, back here in the Carolinas. So again, places like Oklahoma City, up towards Wichita, down even towards Dallas, much of the state of Kansas really, and even as far north as North Dakota having that chance of strong storms today. But really, I think we're going to get some big time tornadoes in Oklahoma this evening. So might be a good night to kind of watch some of those live streaming YouTubers who will be out there, or some of those people who are covering it. Would be a great night to maybe watch some of that footage, as again, I think we'll get some really photogenic storms out here tonight. But also, like I said, out here into sections of Mississippi and Louisiana, we have that chance of some stronger storms, but even really all the way through sections of Alabama, southwestern Georgia, the Florida Peninsula, also having that chance of some stronger storms this afternoon. So we'll definitely watch out for that for you folks as well. All right, let me see if I can actually click the right buttons here. All right, so now going into tomorrow, I do think, again, we'll have another day of severe weather out into the plains, although kind of two distinct areas tomorrow, unlike today. So much of Texas from Dallas down towards Austin having that chance of severe weather, and then also from kind of Kansas City up through Des Moines and sections of eastern Nebraska here having that chance of some strong storms tomorrow, but also really anywhere in this darker green. So places like Little Rock, St. Louis, Tulsa, Oklahoma, plenty of places here will have that chance of strong storms tomorrow. And also what I want you to notice as we get into tomorrow, this, kind of just thunderstorm category here that you see on your key at the bottom kind of begins to shift back east a little bit as well, and that is going to be because the high pressure over the mid-Atlantic right now is going to slowly work back offshore and help to bring those chances of some afternoon thunderstorms back to the east coast. So I don't expect anything crazy or severe out here tomorrow, although that can't be ruled out an isolated strong storm, as we've seen plenty of times happen during this time of year. But what I do think this really signals is that return to muggy weather, as well as just the chance of some pop-up afternoon storms. Now, as we go into day 3, which is Saturday, 2 more big areas to watch are going to be right over Iowa and also down here into southern Texas. But again, if you're in this dark green area, also can't rule out some stronger storms for you folks as well on Saturday. All right, so taking a look at this on our future cast, I'll bring this into about 5 p.m. tonight, and you'll notice this big area of storms beginning to form back out towards Kansas and Oklahoma, but also we have some storms down here to worry about as well through Louisiana, Mississippi, and even potentially kind of Birmingham up towards Nashville, seeing some storms tonight. And, we'll see as this evolves through the overnight, these kind of storms back over here into sections of Mississippi, Alabama, continuing into the later night or the later hours of tonight. This is 10 o'clock I'm showing now, but also still getting these storms over here into Oklahoma and Kansas and even up into Nebraska and the Dakotas as well, you'll notice on the map. As I bring this into tomorrow morning for kind of that rush hour traffic, 8 a.m., we could have a big area of storms here over central Tennessee, so definitely watching that if you're commuting tomorrow morning in the Nashville area. Other than that, though, it looks relatively quiet tomorrow morning, especially here again east of the kind of Appalachian chain, but still some scattered storms out into the plains tomorrow morning. As we bring this into tomorrow afternoon, this will go out to about 4 o'clock here. That area of storms into central Tennessee could begin to kind of slide off to the east and southeast tomorrow. So bringing some of those precipitation chances into areas of North Georgia, North Alabama, eastern Tennessee. So the Knoxville area definitely has that chance. And going into tomorrow evening, again, we're watching those severe weather chances back out into the plains again, but also some kind of showers and storms moving through sections of Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, even sections of Michigan, Wisconsin tomorrow, seeing some rain. Before going into tomorrow evening, some of that begins to dissipate a little bit, but as we get kind of into Saturday afternoon here, I'll show you this is 3 o'clock Saturday. Of course, still some question marks this far out, but we could see some scattered storms in the east, but overall, Saturday looks like a relatively nice day for many of us, other than those severe weather chances back out into Texas and Iowa that we were looking at earlier on the map. All right, so kind of moving this out into more of a national view, we'll slowly move this ahead into time into this weekend where we just left off with the short range models. And again, Saturday afternoon, we looked at what we were kind of expecting there, but moving this into Sunday afternoon, this kind of high pressure, again, is going to really begin to be offshore by then. So we're going to increase that muggy weather as well as that chance of afternoon thunderstorms on Sunday afternoon through much of the southern tier of the country. Now, going into early next week, some of the models are hinting at some high pressure kind of trying to dive south and bring some cooler, drier air, but unfortunately for you folks who are kind of tired of this muggy weather, this looks to be more of a glancing blow. So definitely folks, I'd say north of the Ohio River have a better chance of that than us folks down here into the southeast, where we really look to kind of lock into this pattern a bit. Again, going into next week, you notice kind of these precipitation chances just kind of flare up in the afternoon as you would expect this time of year with that daytime heating, but no real kind of pronounced storm systems move through that bring just a whole ton of rain. It just kind of looks like afternoon thunderstorms. And again, kind of getting the idea of some of these high pressure systems to try to dive south and fight off some of this, warm, muggy air. But overall, it really looks like a glancing blow. And you can see that here on our dew point map. As I move this ahead, again, you see these very high dew points taking hold of the east and southeast. And, as we move ahead, you'll notice some of these kind of drier colors kind of try to dive south and cool us off and, dry us out a little bit. But overall, if you're south of the Ohio River, you're really kind of just still stuck in this really muggy weather. Now, going long range, it does look to moderate a little bit. We're looking more at 50s and 60s compared to the 60s and 70s we're seeing right now. And this should also help to bring down the severe weather chances as well, which will be nice going kind of into the longer range. But really, for at least the next 5 days or so, it looks like we continue this pretty muggy pattern. And kind of, I'd say the temperatures correlate pretty well with that. So, still kind of this warmer than average afternoon temperatures. In fact, this weekend I expect it to be very warm into the southeast, likely reaching 90 in a lot of places. But as we go into next week, again, you notice some of these blues kind of try to work in, indicating some of that cooler air, not cold air by any means, but cooler air begins to kind of try to work in and help to cool us off a little bit. But again, I think we still have a pretty steady precipitation chance through many days over the next week or so. So again, to summarize, kind of the big story right now is that severe weather that we are dealing with. But other than that, there's nothing too crazy ongoing, just kind of a good old-fashioned summertime atmosphere that's really taken over hold for much of the eastern half of the country. So again, I'll have a video out for you tomorrow. I'll update you, and I should have the webcam back up and running by then. So again, I apologize about that. But with all that said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.